Okay, happy Friday. Um, I was editing a video. I'm gonna start making food videos, I believe. Maybe. I'm gonna try. Um, but I tried to film something earlier in the week, but the audio is really bad and the lighting's really bad. And yeah, so I'm gonna redo that. But coming soon, I'm gonna show you what I cook that's really cheap to make because we're living through inflation. Um, Record high 40-year inflation, up 7% from last year. So let's go, Brandon. Um, but as you can see from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about a couple things. Um, Two regarding the Bay Area, or at least one of them specifically talking about the Bay Area. One that will affect all of California, but from a Bay Area state senator, and then a potential bus strike in Orange County. No one really drives in Orange County, you would think, but there's actually a lot of people that drive in Orange County. I mean, that take the bus in Orange County. Um, so it will affect a lot of people. Radical leftist agenda. How's it going? Happy Friday. Les Bones. Nice to see you guys. I know I'm streaming at the same time as Jackson Hinkle is, so I'm gonna keep this short because I have other things to do as well. Horrible Friday, but all right. You know what? I had a pretty decent Friday. Um, Although I had to go to my office in Berkeley to get a new computer for my company. They're upgrading computers, and we got Jackson on a different tab. All right, that's cool. Um, but I went all the way to Berkeley. It took about an hour to get there, and the IT guy told me if we can reschedule and if I could come back next Thursday. That I think he was going home. So I would have seen the message if I had my work email or GChat on my phone, but I kind of refuse to add work stuff on my phone. I have a Slack on my phone, but I don't have the notifications on because one, they don't really pay for my phone bill. Two, I don't need to get messages from people when I'm not on the clock. So, well, you guys are here. Um, you guys are here, so I'll start. Hold up. I've had to download the Outlook and Teams app on my phone, and I hate it. My boss sending me Discord at like, oh, you use Discord for your job? That's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, I use Slack. And then it's kind of weird because I'm not going to say where I work, but some people use GChat and then some people use Slack. I'd say like the younger employees use Slack and then the older people use GChat. Um, and the even older ones just use email to communicate to you. And I never check my work email. I check it like one or twice a week, 3 times a week, maybe at the most, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you're emailing me, I'm never seeing it. And I just don't use GChat. And Slack, I used to like Slack. I'm over Slack. um, it's also owned by Salesforce now. So I feel like the soul has been sucked out of Slack. That's all good. It's Friday. It's time to complain about our jobs. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend though. Um, or hope you guys don't have to work on the weekend. I have Monday through Friday kind of gig. All right, let me get to the first story though. Yeah, I used to have to work on the weekends, and I used to work, retail, and worked at Whole Foods before it was bought by Amazon. Um, and I did like lifeguarding. Um, like I worked for the parks department, like the regional parks department out here in the Bay Area. One of my favorite jobs. I got paid to teach kids how to kayak, and I didn't even know how to kayak. I had to learn. I had to learn. I was like learning as I was teaching. I don't know why they hired me, but it was a really fun job. I got to kayak and then go like camping at these like regional parks out here in the Bay Area. Um, and yeah, it was cool. It was a cool job. All right, let's get into the surveillance state. So as you guys know, or if you follow me, I guess you guys follow me. But I live out here in the Bay Area, so surveillance capital of the world, or surveillance technology capital of the world. And South San Francisco, which is different from San Francisco, is installing license plate reading cameras. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna eat something really fast. Okay, I didn't want you guys to see me eating candy. Um, but yeah, South San Francisco OK's license plate reading cameras. The city allows 31 cameras along transit arteries to deter crime. So South San Francisco will get 31 new surveillance cameras to be placed along Highway 101 and Interstate 280, following an unanimous vote from the city council approving the new law enforcement measure. The cameras, called automated license plate readers, have been increasingly installed in the Bay Area, with several peninsula cities recently approving their use. By capturing images of passing vehicles and logging plate numbers, make, and color, the technology can alert nearby officers if a vehicle suspected of being involved in a crime is spotted. Officers can also access the data after the fact to aid in police work. This is the world we are living in, Councilmember Mark Diego said. It's horrifying when you read reports about how many people are coming into our city and, quite frankly, just raising hell. Um, the technology can be used in instances of crime, from homicide to catalytic converter theft, but unlike red light cameras, would not be used for traffic enforcement. Despite agreeing that cameras would be useful in fighting crime, council members expressed some hesitation surrounding privacy. Oh, no shit. The move will establish South San Francisco as the city with the most cameras in the county, which currently has a total of 119. I come from a time when George Orwell's 1984 was required reading, Hidego said. Apparently, we're there, and there's something a little bit disconcerting about that. So, this council member, why the fuck would he approve of this? Anyways, so I understand there's a lot of break-ins in the Bay Area. Oakland's unofficial city flag is a flag with auto glass on the cement. That's I've had my car broken into like 3 times. I've had bikes stolen from me. Um, I've had all sorts of shit happen. The computer's stolen from my hand literally while I'm sitting at a coffee shop. Um, but they want to track, they basically obviously want to track where we're going if you have a car. So they want to read license plates, they want to track what you're doing and all this stuff. Um, my girlfriend had her license plate stolen a few months ago while we were living in Oakland, and that license plate was stolen because it was being used for for crime. So she later got a call. She reported her license plate was stolen. A couple days later, there was a report at some city here in San Mateo County. So I live in San Mateo County, which is on the other side of the bay. The San Mateo sheriff or something got a hold of her, and the license plate was used in like a robbery. So, thieves are smart enough to take the license plates off of their cars. They're smart enough to use other people's license plates. Um, you know, how many people have a brown or a black Honda Accord and can just steal a license plate from another Honda Accord and commit crime? So it's just like kind of weird. It's kind of useless, really. If you're a smart enough criminal, you will make sure that your license plate is one, not visible, two, off, or three, using another license plate, a burner plate. If people are smart enough to cover their license plate just to avoid getting tagged at the fast track, it's just like it's just surveillance. They're just surveilling you. They want to know where you're at. So I don't know if there's a map of where these are. It says it's on the 101, the 101 and the 280. Obviously, the 101 freeway. There's one down south. It's the same one, and then the 280 is a smaller freeway out here. It's just what else is around here? Oh, okay. Let's kind of segue into the next story I want to talk about. According to city manager Mike Futrell, the city's guidelines mirror that of soon-to-be proposed legislation from State Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco, which aims to curtail Alper use. I don't know what that is. Wiener had last year introduced legislation to require data deletion of after 24 hours following the report that some agencies. Okay. The city's immediate neighbors have cameras installed in the. Oh shit. Okay, so I live near South San Francisco, and it's saying that basically every city around it has these cameras already attached or working. So I'm already being surveilled. Thankfully, I don't drive. Thankfully, I don't drive as much as I used to. Um, and all I do is like go get gas and then get on the freeway. So it's crazy. They're just making sure they know where we're at all times. I also use a application called Metro Mile since I don't drive that much. I use this app insurance thing called Metro Mile. It's basically pay as you go insurance. Since I don't drive, so basically my car is parked most of the month. And when I do drive, it's like to the store, to the gym, to go hike or whatever. So I use Metro Mile and it tracks me, and I understand that it tracks me, but I don't want to pay like expensive rates for my insurance. But they've been tracking me, so whatever. They already know where I'm at. It's just like it's just continued surveillance, and it's happening, and the Bay Area is doing it, and it's going to come to your city. They're going to know exactly where you're at. They're going to say it's for your safety, but we all know it's not really for your safety because you can still get robbed. I've never had anything returned for me that's been stolen from my car. So it's not about crime. All right, we got a spam bot. What's up, Mislav Gorbunova? How's it going? Please spam a little bit more. I'm going to bring up this next story, guys, and apologize. My dog is barking. He's about to bark right now. Okay, I need to talk about this dude, Scott Wiener. He's a senator, California state senator from San Francisco. He's like a total shitlib. He introduced some sort of like pedophile bill last year, basically saying that minors who are over 14 should be able to consent to sex. He's disgusting. And he wants to require all employers to mandate vaccinations in California. So Joe Biden was unable to succeed with mandating all employers over 100 with over 100 employees requiring vaccination. California is saying, "Oh, we'll just continue." And as you know, California is shitlib capital of the world. Shitlib fascists. And we got Scott Weiner and Buffy Wicks of Oakland, of all places, gentrifier out in Oakland, want to require everyone to be vaccinated to work. Not just employees, but also independent contractors. So if you can work, you're getting vaccinated. The Democrats want to do that. So let's read this story. I guess I this was announced today at like 5 o'clock on a Friday, right before the Super Bowl. So nobody knows what happens. Nobody's gonna be reading this story because the Super Bowl is happening this weekend. So no wonder why they announced it on Fox at 5 o'clock on a Friday before the Super Bowl. California would mandate that all businesses require their employees and independent contractors to receive the COVID 19 vaccination under legislation announced Friday by Democratic state lawmakers that was immediately criticized by Republicans as government overreach. I have to agree with the Republicans, but as an independent person, I am also criticizing this. Employees or contractors who qualify for medical or religious exemptions would have to be regularly tested under a planned amendment to the bill. New employees would have to get at least one dose by the time they start work and the second dose within 45 days of being on the job. Assemblywoman Buffy Wicks introduced her bills months after delaying an original proposal last fall. She probably delayed proposing this last fall because Gavin Newsom was being recalled. The previous version would have allowed workers to submit to weekly testing as an alternate to getting vaccinated, but that is not an option in a new proposal. So, what a fascist. Straight up. Vaccine mandates are highly controversial, but there have been many rallies at the state capitol in Sacramento opposing such requirements. If you were following my channel in during the summer, I went to one of these mandates when the California employees were going to be required to be vaccinated to work or be fired. Wicks and other supporters said that the mandate is needed even as California moves to ease other requirements and anticipates moving into a new endemic phase that accepts the coronavirus is here to stay but manageable as immunity builds. That's fundamentally what this bill is about, getting back to some sense of normalcy so we can go on with our lives and we don't have to have these constant interruptions and outbreaks and all these things that we've been experiencing for so long. The mandate would stay in place unless the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention decides COVID vaccinations are no longer needed. That's never going to happen. This bill would require state health and occupational safety officials to advise employers on what qualifies as a medical condition, disability, religious belief, and valid vaccination status. Businesses that didn't comply would face penalties that have yet to be determined. Okay, let's see what this Republican leader James Gallagher said he's vaccinated and urges others to get their shots, but telling people that they can't feed their family unless they get a vaccine is just wrong, Gallagher said. I trust Californians enough to treat them like adults who can make their own health care decisions. It's unfortunate that few Democrats in the legislature don't. That's a perfect stance. If you want to get vaccinated, go for it. Don't force other people to do it. I'm not going to talk about the safety and efficacy of the vaccine, but you guys know the research. You guys know the data on that. Wick's proposal is just the latest of several far-reaching measures introduced by the Democratic state lawmakers this year. Among others, Senator Scott Wiener would allow children 12 and up to be vaccinated without their parents' consent. So this dude, the Senator Scott Wiener, he really likes kids. He likes them so much that he wants to vaccinate them and without their parents' consent, and he also doesn't want minors to have consent to do like sexual acts. So there's something seriously wrong with this guy. It's It's disgusting. Anyways, so there's this trucker mandate happening, or there's this trucker rally happening. People's Convoy, Freedom Convoy. I don't know what the name of it is. They've been switching names. I think there's two groups. It's supposed to start in the 5th. Apparently, they might be protesting at the Super Bowl. That would be awesome. That would be the greatest thing to the Super Bowl. Would be for it to not happen because of some truckers. That would get enormous amount of media attention. Obviously, it would all be bad. It'd be bad media attention, but I think it's the only way to get the message across. And I really hope that the convoy goes to Sacramento and protests this bill. Um, it's unconstitutional, in my opinion, to force somebody to do something they don't want, especially if it's about their own health. Steve Jackson. Is it wiener? Is it wiener? It's not. Is it wiener? Because I'm saying wiener. Steve Jackson. Do you know? It's wiener. Is wiener. Oh, okay. Scott Wiener. Okay. Dang, I was trying to be nice, but I guess it's rude. I guess it's rude to say wiener. Um, thanks for joining the stream, Steve Jackson. Um, I'm just gonna throw this real quick. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I don't think I've seen you in the chats before. Welcome. Thank you. Please share this information. Is trying to vaccinate every single person who works in California, regardless if they are a W-2 employee or a con 1099. He also wants to vaccinate all children 12 and up. So I don't know. This article only affects new employees. It also says that this law, if signed into, I don't know if it was this article or another article that I read it on, but this law would go into effect January 1st, 2023, if it gets passed. And we'll see what happens because the Democrats hold a supermajority in the state assembly and the state senate, and they were unable to provide health care and vote on health care 2 weeks ago. But I feel like they will very likely pass this bill with flying colors and make sure that we're all vaccinated, and Gavin Newsom will sign it into law. That's my prediction. They can't give you health care, but they can make you get a vaccination. Hi, Janine, Layla. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a Friday night. Okay. Guys, Scott Wiener and Buffy Wicks, Public Enemy number 1 and 2. I was here. I was at this rally. All right, I'm going to move on. Yeah, make sure everyone knows that Joe Biden was unable to pass a mandate law, but the California Democrats are trying to pass it, trying to force you to get vaccinated, force kids to get vaccinated, but they won't give you health care. They're going to vote on, and they're not, and they refuse to vote on CalCare. Okay, man, that really like made my blood boil. Um, where is 2016 Bernie Sanders when we need him? 2016 Bernie Sanders does not exist anymore. Janine Layla. 2016 Bernie Sanders sold us out. 2016 Bernie Sanders told us to vote for Hillary Clinton. 2016 Bernie Sanders is too scared to challenge the status quo. 2016 Bernie Sanders was cheated once. 2020 Bernie Sanders was cheated again. He didn't say anything. 20 Bernie Sanders is an independent that simps the hardest for the Democratic Party. Steve Jackson, here's the question. Why are people that have gotten vax are now testing positive for AIDS? Yes, I've heard this coming up in the Netherlands. I don't want to go into the science, but apparently uh, it's been engineered. It was engineered into that thing. So if you want to know more about that, I would go to Slow News Day. They did a show on it this morning. Go to their channel on Rockfin. I would also look into the Last American Vagabond. He's been talking about it all week. Definitely more detailed reporting on that with facts. And I can't really comment more on that, but very weird, especially because especially because this is happening to heterosexual people. So that's just like weird. Not that there's, not that somebody like that can't get that, but we're having record numbers of people getting that disease. Okay, I guess to lighter news. And this one is a little bit personal because I know a bus driver that works for OCTA. This is the bus line. Bus lines matter. Um, so the Orange County Transit Association, the buses in Orange County, potentially going on strike on Tuesday, February 15th. So basically, why else do people strike? They're not getting paid enough, being overworked. They haven't gotten a raise. Um, The main dispute in the bargaining for a new contract appears to be lunches and breaks for drivers, and progress has been stalled, Menace said. Union members believe that the law requires the agency to provide times for drivers to take a lunch or other breaks. They, the OCTA, feel they're exempt from the law. The union leader said some of the drivers have complained of bladder infections from lack of bathroom breaks, and others have experienced dizziness behind the wheel due to hunger. So the OCTA is basically acting like Amazon, not providing their drivers with enough breaks and lunchtime to drive a huge ass bus with people on it. That is one of our major issues, he said. It's just inhumane. I couldn't imagine. Um, I mean, I can't imagine because I've done it before, but driving for a long period of time and not being able to use the restroom. Thankfully, I can pull over and find a bush most of the time and pee anywhere. Not that I do that, but I could if I wanted to. Um, but if you're driving a bus full of people, you should have somebody that can come get you and take a break. I have the freedom to go to the bathroom whenever I want. At least when I worked at Whole Foods, if I needed to use the restroom, I would just go use it. But when I worked at Target, if I needed to use the restroom, I would just go use it. Um, what am I supposed to do? Pee in a jar, like in the cereal aisle? I would just go to the bathroom. But like if you're driving people, you can't like whip it out and go into a bottle. If at least Amazon drivers, I guess, have the luxury of like whipping it out and peeing into a bottle or running into a 7-Eleven really quick and doing that. But like, what am I supposed to do as a bus driver? What am I supposed to do as a bus driver? Am I supposed to just like say, "Hey, you old man, can you watch the car really quick? I'll be right back." Make sure that make sure that everyone pays if they get on, and you know, don't crank the music up too loud. It's um, OCTA officials say about 85% of commuters rely on the agency's buses for their primary means of transportation, and they add that the average household income of half of the agency's customers is less than $50,000. So everyone thinks that Orange County is, you know, full of rich people, and yes, they have those areas, Newport Beach, Laguna Hills, all that stuff. But most of Orange County is working class. Have you ever been to Disneyland and seen? They call it Anacrime for a reason. If you ever been to any city, not all cities in Orange County are wealthy. Not all neighborhoods and not all people in Orange County are wealthy. Santa Ana, for example, very high Latino population, like any, like basically everywhere in California. But Garden Grove, and SoCal, the city of Garden Grove, huge Vietnamese population. Um, you know, these people, as the article says, have very low incomes and they need the bus. So if there's a county-wide bus shutdown, there's going to be a lot of people affected, a lot of people that can't go to work, a lot of people that can't go to church, a lot of people that can't go to their doctor's appointments. This is huge. And, the bus drivers really power the economy. So we should take care of them, um, especially when not that many people have cars, especially when it's very expensive to own a vehicle. I'm sure that more people are using public transportation now, even though we're in a pandemic, because gas is so expensive. Um, I would ask I would ask an interview of my family member who is a bus driver, but usually people in unions don't want to talk to you because they can't talk to reporters. Not that I'm a reporter in any way, shape, or form, but we'll see. Maybe I'll ask him. Maybe he'll want to interview. Maybe if this strike happens again, they have until midnight Monday night. Tuesday, February 15th, OCTA bus drivers will be going on strike for bathroom breaks, lunch breaks, and a raise. This article doesn't talk about it, but they haven't had a raise in like 2 years. And I guess the union, Teamsters Local 952, is trying to call on Gavin Newsom to get involved. That fool's not going to do anything though. Janine Layla says, women don't have the choice of going in a bottle. Yikes. Yeah, and there's women bus drivers. So you're right. They don't have the choice. I mean, I guess maybe not a bottle, maybe a bucket, but regardless, can't really do the bucket in a moving car. Steve Jackson says, it's sad. It's sad. Years ago, people joined together to form union and make workers' rights. These days, the unions no longer do their job. Yeah, Steve Jackson, that is true. They don't do their job because they've been infiltrated. The managers, the leaders of all these unions are bought people who don't really care about the people they represent. You can see this anytime there's a Democratic party person. Unions are always endorsing these two parties. If they're endorsing these two corporate parties, the Republicans or the Democrats, that means they're also bought and paid for by the same owners. So that's why they don't represent them. Ways around that, everyone. I feel like this year or last year, this last couple of months, people have been talking about worker co-ops. Professor Richard Wolff has kind of made that term very popular. But I guess that's a way to do it. You would think that a public agency such as as a county bus line would have better worker rights because it's public, but it's the same. It's the same. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to stream about. Thank you to the 3 people that are watching currently, and to anyone else that was in the chat. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Again, I try to do some cooking videos. I'm going to try to start doing that. But I need to re-record because my lighting was terrible and the audio was terrible. So I'll try again. If you guys have anything that you want me to cook and show you, let me know. But I'm probably going to be mostly Mexican food. And it's the cheapest to make. But I want to show like very cheap, inflation-friendly food. So yeah, have a good Friday. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.